been, I don't know what that was. Hold on. What's up, crew? I don't know what I'm doing. Hold on, y'all. What's up, crew? Listen, it has been a long time, as usual. Oh, God. Let me just stop with y'all. What's going on? It's been a long time, as usual, but I wanted to do a mukbang and kind of catch you up on my life. Now, you may see me putting like my food over here because I am on TikTok live. If you run over, no, I'm joking. This is kind of pre-recorded. So if you missed the live, you missed the live. But yeah, I'm going to kind of give you guys an update on my life as we eat some chicken. Now, hint, I am not that hungry, but yeah, we got to do what we do. So Wingstop was the choice. Okay. So we got a few items. Now let me tell y'all something about Wingstop ranch. So I don't like ranch. If you like, for me, I'm a blue cheese type of guy. But ranch is just, first of all, what kind of fries? Y'all, I'm already not excited about this, but I'm a blue cheese type of guy, but Wingstop ranch is just amazing. I don't know what they put in it. But yeah, it's been a long time, so I wanted to kind of update you guys on some of the things that has been happening with me, y'all, since January. And I'm going to kind of get into it because I know y'all see the title of this video and you like, Drew, we want the scoop, but just wait around. I'm telling you, it's going to be a whole lot of scoop in this video. So one of the things I did today is I actually got some fruit punch. I never get fruit punch. I either get Sprite, Diet Dr. Pepper, Coke Zero, but I don't know. I just felt like, it felt like a Hawaiian punch, fruit punch kind of here. So that's what I got. So yeah, it's been a minute. So the last time I came was, I think it was in March, right? And we did a mukbang with my best friend, and we kind of did a kumbaya with my best friend. Hello, hey, TikTok, I am recording a video, so I'll show y'all, you know, the video and stuff like that. But we did a mukbang with my best friend, so that's been since then. And back then, I was kind of hinting to, and I'm looking over here at the picture because this is my inspiration right here. This person right here. And so, yeah, so I don't know. I'll show TikTok live the person. Uh-oh, boom, there we go. See, you got to follow me on TikTok to get the scoop. But, yeah, so so I was telling y'all about just everything that was happening with my best friend. Okay, I know some of y'all are like, get to the point, Drew. I get the hot honey wings, all right? And I was supposed to do flats only, which I think I did, but I don't know what happened, but I didn't do flats only, so that was kind of weird. But yeah, so I was telling y'all about London, and I was saying London. So it has been almost 7 months since I met London, okay? And we're just calling him London for the sake of the video right now. Pretty soon, he'll probably jump on with me, who knows, introduce himself. But for right now, we're going to say London. So I met London 7 months ago. And it's probably going to have to be a part 2 to this video because I don't know like how far I'm going to go into it. But let's just go. And I don't want to be on here too long. So I'm going to look at my clock. If it gets to 4:15, we got to cut it. All right. So I was on Hinge, right? So my sister actually introduced me to Hinge not a while ago, like maybe a couple of years ago. And I was on Hinge. I remember we were going to DC and I was just like, I need to find someone. And so, of course, I tried all the other apps. Hello, Grindr, Jacked. I tried all those apps, but you and I know that those apps are hookup apps. I'm 30, I'm in my 30s, so I'm like trying to find somebody and everybody is like, sir, this is a hookup app. And I'm like, okay, we could hook up, but you don't want to get in a relationship too? You know what I'm saying? So I was that weirdo on the app. And you know how it is, what's up? Sup, you know, top or bottom, you know, host or travel. Like those were the answers. And I'm your boy on there like, hey, how are you? What's going on? You know, how was your day? And everybody's like, what? So my sister introduced me to Hinge. And when I tell you, I found that Hinge was just amazing because it went a little further than that. So if you haven't tried the dating app Hinge, I recommend it. They are not paying me for this, of course, but I recommend the dating app Hinge, not because it introduced me to the love of my life, but it's very, well, that is why, but it's very like more clean. You can do voice notes so you can hear a person's voice. Everybody puts their profession, what they do. You can kind of research that a little bit. It just allows for a lot more than the surface dating, right? And so I was on Hinge, DC, and so I live in Florida, right? I live in a city in Florida, and when it comes to, I prefer to date a person of color. And when it comes to people of color, they are just not the majority in the city I live in Florida, all right? And so I would then, because I paid for the Hinge subscription. So mind you, finding my love cost me about $30 a month. I paid for the subscription. So paying for the subscription allows you to swipe a lot of times. So you can swipe unlimited. And it allows you to continue to have conversations. But it also allows you to change certain preferences that it doesn't allow someone else. So what it will allow me to do is put that my location was in another area. And so I initially started out by putting my locations in areas where I knew that there would be successful people of color, or that they were the majority. So of course I would do DC, I would do Houston, I would do Atlanta, just in places like that. And then I got a little crazy. I would do California, but then I'm like, these people in California, they work out all the time. They doing too much for me, eating healthy and plants and leaves. And I was just like, no, not California. So then I would do New York. And so I just started doing crazy. Like I just started like just looking. And again, these are not people like I'm hooking up with. Most of the time, these are not people I'm entertaining. I'm just trying to like find my person. I'm trying to find the person that, who I wanted, my person. And so I would have casual conversations. Most of the time, or some of the time, it wouldn't go anywhere. It would just kind of like flop or whatever. And then, sometimes I would talk to them for 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, maybe tops, and then it would go nowhere. So all of this is happening, right? This is happening. And then back in December, so December of last year, I started talking to this person for the third time. Or the third time, I think. I started talking to this person for the third time. We went on a trip to New York, and just foolery happened. Just a lot of bad stuff happened, right? And so we stopped talking. So January, I came home January after New Year's, right? And I was just in a place of, I don't know if I want to do this dating thing again. I don't know if I want to do it. And it's coming. I know everybody's like, get to the point. How do I find my person? And so I was like, I don't know if I want to do this dating thing again. I don't think it's for me and stuff like that. And so wait, my TikTok people are here, so I need to make sure. There we go. What's up, y'all? And so I actually, what did I do? I opened the Hinge again. And oddly enough, my account was still active. I still had like the $30 or whatever I was paying for the membership. And I was like, you know what? I don't believe my person is in the United States, right? So I was with my sister, or I was talking to my sister, and she was talking about going to Cape Town, South Africa. And so the first thing I did was change my location to Cape Town, South Africa. All right, so I'm in South Africa. And looking at, and these people are like, what is going on? So I was like, okay, Drew, let's get out of Africa. And so I changed my location to London. And I changed my location to London, and I started, swiping on people in London. And my ultimate goal was, again, I always wanted to go to London. COVID happened 1 year, so that changed everything for me as far as like getting to London. So when I was going in 2020, and so that changed everything. And so I knew that I wanted to go to London, but I hadn't bought any ticket or anything. So I'm like, this is the perfect time. If I do meet someone in London, I'm down to immediately go out and to meet them in person, right? And so I started talking, and then so me and this guy connected. So the first guy, so the guy I'm talking to now, who I've been talking to for almost 7 months, right? He is in London from Nigeria, right? But the first person that I really started talking to was another guy in London from Nigeria, right? Hopefully that's not confusing. So let's just call him first guy. All right, first guy in Nigeria. So I started talking to the first guy in Nigeria and on Hinge, because remember, my ex from 2 times, this was the 3rd time, just did not work out. And so now I'm on the search again. So the first guy, I had already swiped on the second guy that I'm talking to, London, who I call London. I had already swiped on him, but this first guy, we started talking first. And so we were talking, and then London was reaching out, but I was being kind of short because I don't know about you, but I can only talk to one person fully at a time. So I can only talk to like my focus is like, it has to be like on one person at a time. And so I was talking to the first guy, but London was still reaching out, and we were kind of talking, but not that much. And so me and the first guy moved to FaceTime. And when that happened, I really started ignoring my Hinge, because I'm like, maybe this is going to be something. Again, it was not long. I'm talking maybe a period of a week or 2 weeks, right? And so this first guy said something. He was very sad on the FaceTime. And he looked into the camera and he said, I don't know if this is going to work, because I don't know if I can do long distance. I don't think I think he was testing me, but for me, I was already in a fragile place, and I'm like, you can't play games like that. And so when he said that, I was like, okay, well, all right, cool. And I was just like, okay. I was like, well, have a good night. And then we haven't really talked since then. Like, I think he tried to come back and say, well, I didn't mean it that way. But by that time I was like, yeah, no, like, it's not for me, right? Fast forward, I go back to Hinge, right? I'm back on Hinge, and I find the conversation, because me and London had been talking, but I cut it short. And so I reached out to London again, and London, of course, is like on it, talking back to me, sending, and again, this is not like a long period of time. So it's not like I ghosted London for a week or something. It was just probably like a day or 2 where we weren't talking. And then so me and London start talking on the Hinge, and then he sends me like this voice note of him singing. And when he did that, because usually I'm the one that sends like voice notes of singing, and so when he did that, I was like, oh, this could be something, right? And then so we then moved to, let's do our first FaceTime call. And we did our first FaceTime, and we were on the call for hours. That first FaceTime, we were on the call for hours. We just talked about a whole lot. And I oftentimes joke with him, because he was like going in on the first call. When I saw his pictures on Hinge, I thought like, okay, he was in his last like semester of med school and things like that. And, he was looking all, so I'm thinking like, okay, proper, maybe a little geekish. But when he got on that FaceTime, he let loose, and he was like, let me tell you what I don't like. Let me tell you what I like. Like, he was giving me the rundown, and my eyes were just like, okay. Like, I'm taking note, and I'm like, dang, like, he's like giving me the whole shebang. And he was like, and what I can't stand, like he was telling me like what he can't stand, but we just really vibed and had a good conversation. He told me about this show called Modern Love. And so I hung up, I watched a couple of the first episode, fell in love with the show. And then I sent him some voice notes that first night. And when I tell you, I fell in love the first week. He maybe fell in love the first week and 2 days, but I actually fell in love after that first FaceTime. I kind of knew like, this person is like, and I had already been like, let down so much that I didn't want to get my hopes up, but I created this saying that says, I'm going to give love as many chances as it needs, right? I created this saying, and so for a long time, it was just a saying. It was just, I'm going to give love as many chances as it needs. And when I tell you love needed a lot of chances, y'all, I'm not eating, I'm sorry. Love needed a lot of chances. I was like, I'm going to give love as many chances as it needs. But when I tell you, love was like, okay, well, he said he going to give us a lot of chances. So I'm like, dang. So I gave love a lot of chances, but with this chance, it just felt so like we weren't forcing it to happen. And so as we're talking, the person, my ex from 3 times, and I say ex, but we were trying to talk 3 times. We tried to talk 3 times. We started talking again. And again, this is in the very beginning of, me and London talking. And so we started, and then I had to make a decision because it's like, okay, here's a person where we've tried this 3 times. Now it's on the last time and they're doing everything they're supposed to do. But then you have this new person in your life, and do I give them a chance, right? And so I was just at a crossroad because I'm like, of course I had some care and love for the person that I had talked to otherwise, why would I be with them 3 times, right? And so this was the 4th time we were going to try to do this, but I ultimately made the decision that I just to let that go because it was unfair for me to try to maybe see, and I was just like, I need to give, I almost said his name, but I need to give London the chance that he needs, right? I need to give him a true chance. And so we just hit it off immediately, and it was all because of Hinge. It was all because of Hinge. We decided earlier in our talking with each other to get rid of the apps, right? So we got rid of all the apps, and I was kind of pissed because I wish I would have recorded our conversations from Hinge so that I can always have it, but that's neither here or there. We decided early on to get rid of all the apps, and then everything just started happening organically. I think our communication had to be top tier. So listen, when you're dating someone long distance, you can take it from me because I'm not talking about just a state over, right? A lot of people are like long distance, maybe Florida to Georgia or Florida to Texas. This is Florida to London, all right? We've been on it long distance for 7 months. And I'm going to give you guys a kind of hint. And I know I'm kind of blabbing. It's 4:15, so I got to end the first part. The hint is, to make it can work, but you have to want to make it work, all right? And how we got so lucky and blessed is, yes, I had all of the funds and things to make meetups happen between the 7 months, but he had the emotional intelligence to keep us together for those 7 months because I came in with a lot of baggage. I'm telling my business, but I came in with a lot of baggage. I came in with a lot of stress. I came in with a lot of just trust issues. But when I tell you, we worked through them so quickly because we had no choice. Because from January until April, all we had was communication because we hadn't met yet. And so I made the decision early on to go there in April. The thing was the end of April. Now, I knew I wanted to be with him in January. I knew I wanted a relationship in end of February. You know what I'm saying? I knew this. But he was like, no, you're going to have to wait until you ask me in person. I'm not going to let this happen until you ask me in person. And so we will often talk about proposals and just asking period in person. And I will make the joke what do you want me to do? Jump out of a helicopter or whatever? So save that. I got to tell you about that joke. This is good. I think I'm going to have to pause because it's 4:17. I think I'm going to have to pause in a minute. Y'all got to come back. Hit the follow button, hit the subscribe button, because if you want part 2, because this thing gets deep. But anyway, I had already made the plan to go to London the end of April. So I bought my ticket, and I wrote him a song because he made me wait. And so, I used to always say, what you want me to do, jump out of a helicopter? So during the time talking to him for these 4 months, I met some of one of his friends through FaceTime. And so it was really just talking every single day. And so here's how our long distance worked. We didn't make anyone do anything. The way the conversations came up was the apps, right? So I I had sent a screenshot of my app, the Hinge app, to show like how many notifications I had. And he was like, oh, that's crazy. He was like, well, I'm deleting my app. And he was like, and I was like, well, I'll delete mine. He was like, you sure? And I was like, are we deleting the apps? And we were like, yeah, we're deleting the apps. And then the same thing happened with, we started sharing locations. So he has a thing where I would get on the plane and sometimes I would say like I'm taking off, but I would forget to say I'm landing, or I would say, and he would just be like, you're stressing me out? And so I was like, you know what? I'm just going to share my location, right? And so he was like, well, I'll share my location too. So we just started sharing locations with one another. We make jokes about it from time to time, but it's nothing that one another force. It's nothing that we have to do. We just want to do it. Now, mind you, I still have to text him that I landed. And I'm like, you can check my location and see I'm safe. And he's like, no. He's just very old school and old spirited when it comes to stuff. So I still have to text him when I land in another city. But the final thing we started doing for long distance is we sleep together. And I'm going to end it with this. So how do we sleep together? We do FaceTime. We FaceTime every single night almost, right? And so what happens is my schedule has changed. So I go to bed early. So I'm in bed by 7 because 10, 11, 12, that's 12 his time, right? So I'm in bed by 7, sometimes earlier. Now, when I travel for work, I can't really do that because I'm going to like work meeting dinners and stuff like that. And so sometimes when I get back to my hotel room, I'll call and then he'll answer and just put me up. Other times I won't call because I want him to get the rest or whatever. But in that case, he'll call me at 2 a.m, like I'm up, check my outfit. But we just make it work. Again, sleeping together is not something we're forced to do. We want to do it. And it's so crazy because in these past 7 months, it's like we feel each other. I can't even eat because this story is crazy. But we feel it so immediately, like if he moves or something or wakes up, I'm waking up. Or if I like put myself on mute or something and he's like, oh, what happened? Like we just feel each other, and that's all we have to hold on to. And so this video is getting a little long. I'm going to go probably 5 more minutes. So I'm just going to say this. The videos that are coming up is I'm going to kind of explain our journey for the next, for the past 7 months and kind of up to what's happening now with us. By the way, I will see him the end of this month. I will see him in October, and then I will see him in December. And so again, and we've seen each other so many times before that. And yeah, and so there's just a lot happening. There's a lot going on. But I noticed we were talking about today, one of the things we do a lot is affirm each other. I think because I talk about the good times, a lot of people are like, you guys are in your honeymoon stage and you guys don't understand, different things. And I'm like, we have yelled, we have fought it out, we have hung up the phone, we've cried together, we've laughed together, we've been angry, but our communication is so tight now to where if we have a disagreement, it is squashed immediately. Like one thing, he tried to play a joke on me today where you text like your partner a lyric to the song and then you're supposed to keep the text going. But the first text, he always says like, baby. And I was like, yes, love. And he said, I just need to get this off my chest. I immediately called. And he was like, no, you messed it up. But one of the things we practice is when text, so this is for long distance. I'm dropping some jewels in here. When text begins to start going like this, immediately pick up the phone and call. Because we don't have time for text to be misconstrued, right? We don't have time for text to be like, and so he'll know. I do it quicker than he does. Sometimes he'll do it, but I'm like, as soon as it's like, if I'm starting to shake when I'm typing, I'm like, calm down, call, because this could be a misunderstanding. And so we're not perfect. We haven't had the perfect relationship, but it's our perfect. It is our perfect. And there's so many things because we're so different in so many ways. But I feel like I wanted to give you an update. I feel like I'm at a good stopping point because I want to save. I kind of want to organize this on what I want to say, what tips I want to give as we're still trying to navigate it ourselves. I can't believe so much time has gone by. I feel like I've just met him, but I've also feel like we've been together forever, the way that we just navigate and the way that we just do things. So, yeah, so that's that is where I am. So I have, again, we have traveled. So I went to see him in April. So I'm going to talk about that on the next video. The next video, I'm going to talk about seeing him in April. And then I'm going to talk about, he actually had to come to the States for an elective. And so I saw him 3 times, a long period of time then. I'm going to talk about meeting the friends that I met. I'm going to talk about that, and some of them follow me on Instagram, so they see and things like that. And just talk about how to navigate being so different. We are both 2 different people from even this video. He's probably like in the background cringing at this video. He's very much a private person, very, and I'm very much the opposite. And so we've been navigating that over the 7 months. And so, it's just, people always say, like, do you see the way he looks at you? Because we've done, if you follow me on socials, we've put out some videos, and I have a close friends on Instagram where I share videos of us and things like that. And he's very much, he looks at me. I've always said I wanted someone to look at me in the way I look at them, right? I wanted someone to look, and I always say, like, he was like, how did you find me? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know how I found you, but I'm so glad I did. And I was like, I used to say I prayed for you, but I can't even say that, because I prayed for the bare minimum. I prayed to find someone that wouldn't cheat on me, that would be faithful to me, and someone that deserved the things that I would give them. But God gave me so much more. Like, I tell him all the time, like, I couldn't have prayed for you because I didn't know how to pray for you. I don't know how to pray for what I found. And it's so funny because everybody sees him like in a different light. Like, they know this type of London or this type of London. And he's different with me. And some of his friends have said it. It was like, we've never seen this side of him. And I'm just very appreciative that I have the love and the London. I get to experience that. So we have been on this high. And again, it's not a high because everything has been perfect, but it's a high because we're committed. We're committed, and we do things to make sure one another is validated. We do things to make sure we know each other cares. We never end a night without communicating. We never end an argument or disagreement without, coming to some type of, listen, this is what I meant by this, or this, and I've never had this, or I've had it, but not in this way. And so I'm very appreciative, and I'm very grateful, and can't wait to share with you guys what else is happening. So everything is the same other than that. So I'm still working. I still travel almost every week for work. I'm actually heading out to San Antonio in the next couple of days. So you'll be watching this. I'll probably be in San Antonio. And so, I am working a lot, navigating things, but there's a lot of great things happening. My work family has been close with me through this process and things like that. My family has been close through this process. The support that I've received out loud has been crazy, but it is possible to meet your person in London. I met my person from Florida all the way to London. It's possible to meet them in Africa. It's possible to meet them in Canada. So do not limit yourself, especially in the climate that we're in right now. Do not limit yourself to just USA or your state or your city. Comment on this video, like, share, subscribe, inbox me on Instagram, and I'll help you. Maybe I can be, let me stop. It's not even been a year yet, but I don't know. I'm going to finish this or not, and have a great night or day or morning or whenever you're watching this. Look out for the next video. I am not going to tell you when it's going to drop, but I will promise you this. If I get a bunch of shares, likes, and everything, it's going to push me to drop the T on that next video. I will see you guys later. Have a great day, crew, and I'm out. Oh, y'all, that was a lot. That was a lot.